Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. Across from me is Troy Brittingham.
Across from me is Jeff Ackerman.
And across from me, quite a bit to the west, is Chris Carroll.
Or the east. You don't know. I'm an enigma. You don't know where I am. My coordinates are not publicly
If you go far
available.
enough east, you will make it to you, yes.
I mean, the Earth is
That
flat,
is technically
Troy, so
correct.
that's not true. The Earth is flat, guys. You'll just fall off the edge and fall into space.
It's true, that's fair. Well,
You know,
space doesn't exist.
We've been watching this show quite a while. I don't think I've ever seen a single fucking ring or heard mention of one.
You know what? That's true.
By the way, this is Rings of Power, episode 5. Jeff, roll that music.
TB&J!
Yes, Daddy.
Oh, ooh. It's gonna be one of those types of episodes.
TB&J!
When is it not one of those episodes?
Chris, for the sort of the feel of Lord of the Rings, you should do like a 10-day trek across the country to try to record with us.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I've already did that, and I did it to get away from you all.
No, you
And
should
here I am
you-
still fucking recording with you guys.
You should do it by foot, though.
Yeah,
no.
you should
I
walk.
don't even
the
think you
distance.
How
can.
long
I don't
does
think
that
you
take?
can walk the United States in 10 days.
I don't know. I just came up with a number. It's way more than that.
Yeah, fill the time, Troy, while I Google your question.
I didn't know you were Googling things. I don't know. I can't read your mind.
Oh, Jeff, are you also Googling this?
Yes.
Do you want me to Google it too, and then it's just 3 people Googling something?
It's expected to take about 6 months.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, do that.
Or 886 hours for those of you looking for time in hours.
Well, I'm assuming he has just
So yeah,
stop
I'm
and eat.
not doing that. I'm not
Come
doing that.
on. Come
No.
on.
That's 6 months. In the grand scheme of things, that's nothing. That's the fraction of your life expectancy. You'll be fine.
That's what I'm saying.
You'll be
Although-
fine.
My calves by the end of it are probably going to look amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
They already look pretty good now, but
You'd be like the
goddamn.
fucking road runner.
There was a plot point in one of the episodes of Harley Quinn on HBO Max where they trapped the Riddler in like a hamster wheel and just had him running, or he would get shocked, and then like they left him alone, and then 3 episodes later the Riddler shows up fucking jacked, and they're just like, dude, what happened? And he was like, you left me in a hamster wheel. I've just been running for like 6 months, and now I've got the fucking legs of a porn god. And it was like the best payoff to a throwaway joke I've ever seen on an animated show. It was amazing. Go watch Harley Quinn on HBO Max before they cancel it.
I still haven't, and
It's-
it's like taking
it's
time
such
on
a-
now.
Like, even if you don't go out and watch it, just watch some clips on YouTube. You'll fucking die
I have
laughing.
done that. I have.
Where's my goddamn electric car, Bruce? It's so fucking
good.
great. But this isn't about Harley Quinn on HBO Max. This
You're
is
right,
about the Lord of the
but-
Rings, The Rings of Power.
Holy character development, Batman. Theo doesn't piss me off this episode.
I was about to say,
Jeff
before
said the same thing.
before we get too far into it, for those of you who are unfamiliar with TB&J, this is a really weird episode to be your first. But also, we do things a little differently around here. We do give everything a thumbs up or a thumbs down because the rules of the internet state things are either good or bad. So, without further ado, Troy, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm thumbs up.
Chris, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm giving a thumbs up like a kid that just got on the internet for the first time and is filming a commercial for it.
I'm giving a thumbs up like a kid who just got on the internet for the first time and Googled boobs. Oh, man. Did every guys... No, I'm not going to tell that story.
No, hold on. You gotta tell it now.
No, I'll tell you guys off air. Just remind me because I'm going to forget in about 2 seconds.
Is it about your
so-
first boob?
Yeah. So this episode of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, has a lot of character development in it, and we learn a little bit more about a lot of the players involved. So first of all, the Harfoots happen again. They're still migrating. They're doing their thing. And now the stranger is starting to speak some rudimentary English. And he does this really awesome, like, ground pound move to save a bunch of them from the wolves.
Yeah, he cast Thunderwave.
He cast Thunderwave, basically. I didn't realize he had the spell slots for it, but he cast Thunderwave. And now he's got some weird, like, black necrotic bullshit happening on his arm. And
I'm
goes
pretty
to
sure
treat
he
it.
bruised his arm because he slammed it against the ground.
I mean, that's the logical reason. I don't know what the Lord of the Rings reason is. You know what I mean? He could have, like, tapped into some ethereal magic, and now the gods are mad at him, so they're poisoning his blood. I don't fucking know. They could tell me anything, and I'd believe them. But he does he goes to a pool of water and casts a spell to try to freeze his arm to help with the bruising. And Nori tries to help him. She gets frozen, and he accidentally ends up blasting her into oblivion, which I guess the stranger is officially Sub-Zero now.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, she's not dead. She didn't get blasted into oblivion as in death. As in,
no, she just got
launched
blasted
across
away.
the fucking field.
It was a percussive blast rather than a explosion. But if he is Sub-Zero, is he Bi-Han or Kuai Liang?
Well, Bi-Han comes first. So, I mean...
But that doesn't mean that this isn't Kuai Liang, and we missed the birth of Bi-Han.
Well, which of the Sub-Zeros fell to the Earth in a giant meteorite?
That was Bi-Han.
It would probably
Okay,
be
so he's
Bi-Han.
Bi-Han.
Yeah. Bi-Han is the one who dies and then becomes a bad guy as
He
Noob
would
Saibot.
kill a lot of fireflies, I assume.
Yeah, for sure, because fire reminds him of Scorpion, his hated nemesis.
It was sort of sick when she hit him with when he hit Nori with that sick ice slide though.
Oh, yeah. He hit her with an ice slide, she went bouncing in the other direction, and then he followed that up with the ice ball, and then the uppercut, and then he went into the juggling combo.
If you freeze somebody, you don't go uppercut unless it's MK1, so it's...
I'm sorry, audience. We'll
It's a
get back
waste
to
of
the,
time.
we'll
I
get
don't
back
know
to
how
the
to
actual
juggle,
show
Troy.
for a
I'm
while.
bad at fighting games.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, if you're gonna uppercut somebody who's frozen solid, you can do anything. You can't do anything after the uppercut.
Let's please get back to the episode before Troy starts talking about iframe data.
Dude, for real. Troy,
When he hits you with the high-low mix-up,
Stop,
and then
stop,
he hits you with the slide.
Stop. Show.
Bad Troy. We should get a bonk sound effect, Chris, to just use whenever we hit somebody for misbehaving. But yeah, so that pretty much gets us to the end of the Harfoot story for now. It seems like that relationship is on ice between Nori and the stranger.
I actually got some things to do. I'm gonna get out of here.
She's afraid of him.
It's been a long day. Let's just cut it here.
The dusty trail's not getting any dustier.
Dusty trail. I forgot
I need to take the long trek upstairs and do
God
literally
damn it.
anything else with my life.
I literally forgot to mention my other complaint about Don't Worry, Darling.
Well, it's over now. Can't
It
do it
is.
here.
Those cars are so shiny and it's so dusty out there. Anyway,
Sounds like the Star Wars problem all over again with the space Vespas.
So and Nori had this conversation with the stranger earlier where he was like, I am a peril. I killed those fireflies. And she's like, no, it was an accident. You're still a good person. And he doesn't quite believe her. And then he goes and just knocks her socks off. And now she runs away scared. And he's just like, oh shit.
Without socks.
Yeah, they're Harfoots. They don't wear
She already
socks.
had no socks.
She's got those big foot prosthetics they make the actors wear. Can I just say, I've always been amazed, even in the original Lord of the Rings movie, how they make these normal people look so tiny next to regular normal people as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's always amazed me, that trick of the camera, and it doesn't cease to amaze me in this frame of reference.
You know which one it does cease to amaze you in?
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
Because it's CGI. I hate The Hobbit and all those movies. But it's fascinating because it's just fun. It's just fun to see these tiny little Hobbit people, Harfoot people, next to a regular-sized man, and he looks gigantic in comparison. But it's just in real life, y'all are probably what, the same size, maybe a couple inches different. It's fascinating.
It's giving everybody the perception that Ian McKellen's super tall.
Yeah, and then you meet him, and it's just oh, you're just a normal-sized human.
You're a man.
Oh, okay. I thought you were a giant god.
How tall is he? Let me look that up.
Yeah, let's pause the recording to do more bullshit Googling.
He's 5'11".
All right, that's normal man height. But then we have what happened. Oh, with our friend Arendir, he was doing some shit. They're trying to help. What's her name? Borowin, I think, or Bronwyn.
Yes,
Bronwyn.
Yep.
Bronwyn, yeah. She was trying to rally the people to be like, hey, let's fight the orcs. And then fucking Waldreg, the bartender, is like, nah, let's go submit and beg for their mercy.
Hey, yo,
Come
guys,
on.
have you ever considered, what if we were, evil, though? What if we did evil?
What if we just did bad stuff?
What if we did not good things?
Reminds me of that old sketch with the I forget who did it. I think it was some British comedians, but they were just like, "Are we the baddies?" while they're wearing the Hitler uniforms, and I was like, it's a good sketch. But yeah, let's just go be the bad guys. And Waldrig's just like, I pledge myself to Sauron, and fucking Adar's like, bitch, I ain't Sauron, I'm Adar, fuck you.
They're
chokes
back
on
and forth. Their back and forth was hilarious. Wait, are you not Sauron? I'll pledge allegiance to you anyway, whoever you are.
Whoever you are.
Yeah, I'll pledge allegiance to you, whoever you are. And he's like, nah, here's a knife. Kill the annoying kid from the first episode or second episode. You kill him. That'll prove to me that you're loyal. And it cuts before we know what happened.
and he goes, wait, maybe they are the bad guys.
My hope is that Waldrig has a change of heart and tries to stab Adar, but obviously that's not how Adar's going out. So he ends up killing Waldrig.
But what if he did? What could you imagine if he did?
Waldrig just comes back with his head, and he's like, yeah, so they weren't Sauron, so I take it back. But here's his head.
Turns out, not a problem.
I don't know why you couldn't have done it, fucking pointy-eared bastard. And it's like, what the... What? We find out that the hilt is not a sword, but it's a key, and the key is to unlock something.
I mean, it turns into something pretty sword-like.
It does, and it might be a sword in reality, but it also is metaphorically a key, kind of a thing.
The Raiders just played a lot of Kingdom Hearts.
Arendir cleared some shrubbery off the walls of the tower they were in, and it's just some giant diorama, basically, of this is that hilt. This is how it's used. It's a key. It enslaves humanity. Here you go. We're just going to put it all on the wall here.
And we've entrusted it to Theo.
Yeah, the 14-year-old's got it. No, but he does give it to Arendir and Bronwyn, and they're sitting there with it what do we do with this? And they're just like, huh? But
how
bad guys know
that the diorama is literally just in the watchtower that they're hiding in.
Yeah,
that was a little weird.
The elven watchtower that the elves have been using for hundreds of years now, while man has been under the watchful eye. I don't understand.
Meanwhile, they couldn't see the fucking person doing chiseling out graffiti on their walls, and then hid it behind some bushes.
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, this is very in line with Tolkien because, our guy J.R.R. really invented and loved using the Deus Ex Machina. He was a big fan of it. So
you don't say. The fucking eagles on Mount Doom at the end of the third movie. Let's just save the main characters instead of letting them melt to death.
There's a whole lot of and hope is lost, and an entire army comes up around the hill, which I think is going to happen in this show.
Dude, we're absolutely going to get a fucking...
they're setting it up.
Yeah, that battle of... Don't say it.
Yeah, I guess
Don't say it. Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Helm's Deep, yes.
No, we're going to get a Helm's Deep thing where, the little refugees in the tower, led by Arendir and Bronwyn, are going to be, holding their own against the orcs for a minute while they slowly retreat back into the tower, and then they're going to be all hope is lost. And then as the sun rises, Galadriel shows up with the armies of Numenor.
Now, I mean, that being said, Chris brings up a good point of, is it really a Deus Ex Machina if you've been setting it up for 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a Deus Ex Machina, I guess, at that point. It's more just a poorly paced. I don't know if poorly paced is the right word. No,
it's paced. It's paced totally fine, and I think that that's a good thing to do.
I don't know what my criticism here is, but I have it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's a valid criticism here. We just don't want to know what it is.
I've embraced the hatred of the internet, and I'm just this sucks, but I don't know why.
All right, that means that Jeff is now electing it as a thumbs down.
Oh no!
Oh no! Because the stuff that happens with Galadriel and Halbrand is enough to bring me back on board 100%.
Yay!
I have said it before, and I'll say it again. I am a fan of all sword fights, and this one's not even particularly super high paced and energetic, but I did like Galadriel beating the shit out of the 5 or 6 people wanting to get promoted.
And then the one guy who managed to slice her sleeve the tiniest bit. She's like, well, technically you won, so congratulations on your promotion, even though I literally kicked all 5 of your guys' asses, and I've got 2 swords in my hand because I disarmed one of you. Ugh. I wanted Halbrand to show up and try to spar her a little bit. I want to see how Halbrand handles himself in an actual fight, as opposed to that weird brawl where he was clearly outmatched and it was an unfair fight. I'd like to see how Halbrand fares. Did you guys have any doubt that he wouldn't go to Middle Earth?
No.
I mean, it would be really weird if he didn't.
Yeah, I guess it would, because then there's no show. But
Unless they
like,
were trying to set that up for like a season 2 thing, but I thought that was a far reach.
how many seasons do you think they have of this show?
90 billion.
That's very optimistic.
I think that they're gonna go as long as they can. I do not see them.
But like here's my thing, right? So I always bring shows back to like the gold standard in my opinion, which is like Breaking Bad.
Sure.
Because when Vince Gilligan set out to make Breaking Bad, he wrote a story. And that story was divided up into 5 seasons, and he told the story, and that was it. He didn't milk it longer than it needed to be. There wasn't like a filler episode. Everything followed his plot from A to B to C to D, all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if they've done something similar with this, especially knowing that all of their critics are going to be very harshly comparing them to the source material of the books and the Silmarillion. So I'm wondering if they've taken any of that into consideration, and they have at least like a couple years worth of a roadmap.
A couple years, sure, but I don't think
do you think that they have an end game?
No.
Chris, what do you think?
I think that they will continue to do this until Jeff Bezos says, "Okay, that's enough of my money spent."
That's sort of where my mind's at. I think that if I was...
I think that they could make 140 seasons, each using $1 billion of Jeff Bezos' net worth.
And it could progressively get worse. And
Oh, absolutely.
Who cares? We're on season 140. We can give you one more. Sure, no, not one person like this 139, but 140's fine.
You think it'll just be like The Simpsons?
Yeah.
They'll just keep going. It's going to be weird when the actors who play the elves start aging, and the elves are not supposed to age.
No, well, Jeff Bezos has that covered, too, with his infinite amounts of money.
His
anti-aging cream and machines. They will
anti-aging creaming machines?
Nope. Cream and machines.
I heard cream and machines.
And...
Chris, what did you hear?
Sorry. Creaming machines.
Yes! By the way, can I just say, Chris, you're the sound guy when we do these episodes. I need you to cut.
Am I?
I've just declared you so because Troy doesn't use the iPad, and I don't have
shit.
I don't have room for it on my side because I have the entire hardware set.
I'm what you would call the talent.
I don't have a soundboard set up yet.
You'll get there. You'll get there. I want Prince Duran saying, "Give me the meat and give it to me raw." I want that as a soundbite.
Okay, I'll make a note.
Thank you. And that comic bonk sound, like the go to horny jail gif with the Doge just bonking people. Get that sound effect too.
So you brought up my 2 favorites, and I do need to talk
Prince
about
Duran
them.
and Elrond.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Agent Smith, Elrond in Lord of the Rings, I didn't care for very much.
Mm-hmm.
He was just kind of like the high and mighty elf guy, and I was like, all right, you're cool.
Yeah, he's every elf king, all of them,
exactly.
including the one in this show.
Yeah, he's very bland and kind of like, he's the elf king, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In this series, Elrond is like in my top 3 favorites. It's like him and Prince Duran, and then Celebrimbor, but only because I know Celebrimbor's story and I love him so much. Even though he's had like a combined 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, him, Duran's wife are all my
Disa.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are my top characters for sure.
Fucking Elrond is making me love Elrond and see that character in a whole new light, which is great because that's what you want in a prequel, right? You want to see your beloved characters in a new light. Like we see Galadriel as not the old lady giving Frodo a vial of light. She's a badass warrior bitch who's obsessed with vengeance on orcs.
That being said, we will eventually probably see Elrond get more sort of like bitter and curmudgeon-y and turn into sort of a traditional elf king later down the line, because that's where he ends up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, we know where a lot of these characters end up, so, like, we know something happens to them.
You're like,
I say a lot, but that's not true. We only really know about Galadriel and Elrond. Aside from the two of them.
we know of Durin, but he's not in
And we
Lord
know of
the Rings.
Isildur.
We know of Durin's corpse.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, I guess so.
And we know
big fucking spoilers for the fucking Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, how dare you spoil that great movie from 2001.
Could you fucking imagine watching the Amazon Prime Lord of the Rings show and not knowing anything about Fellowship of the Rings?
Like,
Ooh.
even
There's
memes
gotta be
you're
someone.
bound to hear of.
There's got to be someone, right?
I mean,
I mean,
guess so.
maybe my girlfriend.
Hmm.
She doesn't care for Lord of the Rings at all.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I offered to watch like the entire series, the entire trilogy with her. She's like, nah.
Wow, your girlfriend just lost some points in my eye.
That's okay. She wasn't really caring about those.
If you want to know, the woman I'm engaged to has not seen a Star War.
Interesting.
There,
She's seen the animated shows.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
She's also so it's so weird. She grew up with her dad, who was way older when she was born, and so the movies that she grew up watching with him are like the original The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and like A Fistful of Dollars. So she has this soft spot for like old westerns, and then a complete gap all the way up until like John Wick.
That's so interesting.
Like John Wick is like the last, like the oldest movie in recent history that she's seen.
So
and liked.
I lived with my grandfather for a while, and so I feel like I have those old movies and the stuff in between, and then the stuff now.
She just skipped all movies from like 1970 until 2010.
That's bizarre.
She has this huge gap of media
But again,
knowledge.
she's seen like the Star Wars shows.
Yeah, she loves Ahsoka Tano. She's seen Clone Wars.
That's so weird.
She just hasn't seen Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith.
That fascinates me. For
Or
some
New
reason.
Hope.
Has she seen like the live action shows at least, like Mandalorian?
Yeah, we watched Mando together for the podcast.
I know she saw Boba Fett because you talked about it.
We saw Boba Fett for the podcast too.
Because you talked about when Ahsoka shows up in that.
She's
Spoilers for Boba Fett.
my future wife is a very strange lady. She must be to be engaged to me. I hit both at the same time. The buttons are right next to each other.
That was the best accident of all time.
No, the best accident of all time was your birth, Troy.
Well, I'll take best. I'll take best.
There you go. I'm bringing it back
Silver
into a
linings.
wholesome joke.
Yeah. I was a surprise.
Chris, what was your favorite part of this episode? Do you have a favorite part?
Ooh, that's a tough one. The really tense dinner scene was pretty enjoyable between Durin absolutely fooling them like this table is actually supposed to be a monument to dead dwarves and you are using it as a dinner table. I want it back. And the elves are like, oh yes, fuck, of course. And then we later hear him and Elrond like, so it's not actually used for tombs, is it? Oh no, I just wanted a table.
Yeah, he said Disa's been wanting a new table. Now I got a new table, and I'm just like,
Just brilliant.
brilliant.
I'm gonna spin off of that and say that my favorite part is that part of the show where he's like, you lied, didn't you? And he's like, yep. And then as they're talking, he tells him about how the elves need the mithril, and he's just sort of like, so all the elves are in my hands.
The
whole
fate of the Helven race is in my hands.
And he keeps going back, and he's just like, say that for me one more time.
Yeah.
Like say it slower.
and they're like, whose hands? Yours. He's like relishing in that moment so hard. And it's just the buddy relationship that Durin and Elrond have is so near and dear to me. I fucking love that. It's their relationship might be my favorite to watch on screen. Right up there with Galadriel and the army guy, Isildur's dad. Arendelle, thank you.
And it's insane too because like as far as things go, there are a lot of lore stuff, but in terms of things actually happening, it's not a lot with the two of them. Like they're mostly just talking about like politics and sitting around at dinner tables most of the time.
Also, Troy, I need you to stand up and come over here for a second because
Okay.
I just looked up what Durin looks like without the makeup on, and that's what that man looks like. Oh my gosh, what a beefcake!
That's a different guy.
That's a different man. That is just Chris. Google Owain Arthur. OWAIN
him up
Arthur.
now. Oh,
Just look at that man. That's Prince Durin. Under all the hair and the fake nose and the beard, that's what that man looks like.
you know
It's a
what?
different
He
man.
reminds me a lot of my old supervisor back at my old job, but like skinnier and doesn't look like a fucking prick.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. What do you guys think happens with Isildur here?
I mean, we watched what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably nothing. I think that he probably goes to work, comes back, and he lives a happy life for the rest of that. So yeah,
I don't think so.
I think he starts an investment firm.
Ooh,
Oh, interesting.
he starts buying stocks.
Isildur Investments.
He mints an NFT.
Ooh. Oh my God! I saw a woman while I was out at the grocery store, just standing in line, and her shirt said, "Yes, I have NFTs. Nice fucking titties." And it made me laugh really hard.
So Jeff, when are you gonna wear that shirt?
Oh! As soon as my titties are big enough, I'm still working on them. Just give me some time.
You'll get there.
I'm gonna do some more TB&J Eats episodes, and that'll bring in my titties. Chris, do you know about that? I think I did that before you moved.
No. Is it the one where you make us eat weird things?
Yes, it is.
That's why I moved. I had those weird
Yeah, I
beans
had to eat 3
and
different types of chips today.
2 chips and a cheese curl. Don't lie.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Hers has a new line of game day flavor snacks, and it's
hold on. What does game day flavor mean? Does it taste like the fucking turf on a football field?
No, it's snacks.
Does it taste like the
watching
fucking sweat off a quarterback's brow?
No. So there's cheese pizza flavored chips. There is hot buffalo wing flavored chips, and then there's cheeseburger flavored cheese curls.
Okay, those actually sound pretty good.
The cheese pizza one is not terrible, but I don't know I'd buy it again. The cheeseburger cheese curls are actually really good.
Incorrect. Wrong. False information.
If you want more information, go listen to the TB&J Eats episode of this podcast.
Okay, I guess I'll go listen to that. Is that going to be on the end of this episode or the...
It's already up. It's already published as of us recording this.
Oh, okay.
So you can download it right now and listen to it as soon as we're done. I try to keep them bite-sized episodes. They're usually like 10 minutes or so.
Boo! Jeff, boo!
I don't. Why are you guys booing me?
Bite-sized, you fuck.
I said it earlier too, and I still didn't say anything or do anything. I actually told him that it was
You
not
encouraged the bad behavior is what you did.
I did not do that. You can't say that when Chris is around.
Guys, I think we discussed this. There's 10 episodes in this series so far. Is that the case?
I don't fucking know.
I thought we were down. I thought we were talking.
Is it 8?
Yes, I believe. I think that's what we talked about last time.
We always forget this.
Oh man, if only we had a fucking computer in front of us.
We do have a computer in front of us. It's 8, so there's 3 episodes left. So, I mean, what do you suspect happens in the next 2 episodes? I mean, there's not...
Well, three episodes.
I know, but that last episode we know is going to be the battle, right? It's got to be.
Was the battle multi-episodes?
I don't think the battle's going to be multi-episodes. I feel like battle's just going to be 1 episode.
I mean, Help Steep was basically an hour and a half of just straight-up action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but I think that was more of just like... that was a different medium. I feel like films, you can get away with doing that. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said. Of course you can get away with doing that. It's a fucking film. It's 2 hours long. This is an hour-long TV show.
Yeah, 2.
So they can have 2 episodes where 90 minutes of the total runtime is just them fucking fighting.
They could, but I don't know if they would do that. I mean,
I think they would. I mean, because think about like other shows that we've done, like Mandalorian always has like 2-part enders for a lot of their seasons and stuff like that. I mean, those are shorter episodes, but
those are shorter episodes, and that's Disney Plus making stuff. That's a completely different beast because Disney is very much formulaic in a lot of their things, and because it makes them money. So I mean, why fuck with what's good? I don't know. I just don't feel like they're gonna split the battle into 2 episodes. They'll do like a build up, a battle, and then an aftermath. I feel like that's how it'll go. But I'm curious to see how it goes in the next couple episodes. Chris, do you have anything else you want to add about this episode? I think this one wasn't super meaty.
This one was a lot more set up for the big stuff, I think.
This was an appetizer of an episode.
Yeah, basically. This episode was setting up how now Durin knows that the elves need the mithril to live because their tree is dying, and if the tree dies, so will their immortal souls. I guess that's how it works with the elves in the Tolkien verse. So Durin's going to help them out by giving them the mithril, but first they have to convince the king. The king, who sent Durin to the elves to figure out what they wanted and to scheme against them. I don't think the king's going to go along with this at all. But I guess that's for us to figure out.
Well, historically, the elves and the dwarves very much get along in Lord of the Rings, so I would say that it's probably fine.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, all the time.
That's right. Gimli and Legolas, they are best friends.
They met each other immediately and were like, I have no problem with you.
I love this.
Did we just become best friends?
They just had a complete Step Brothers moment. There's so many moving pieces, and as Chris pointed out in the beginning, we haven't seen hide nor tail of a ring yet.
Yep.
We know that Celebrimbor is using the dwarves to help him construct the furnace to build the rings, but we haven't heard anything about that.
Do you think that season 1 ends with a ring being made?
No, because they still have to build the furnace to make them.
The furnace
I
is
think
still
that's
a work in
compacting a
progress.
lot into a single moment.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think the rings being built will be a future thing. I think the end of the series, if they have one in mind, is probably going to be something along the lines of the rings being made. Actually, no, the rings being made is probably like a mid-series event, and then it's the war of Sauron the first time. And taking down Sauron, and then we have Isildur cutting off Sauron's ring.
Isildur probably has to become a much more of a main character eventually.
Yeah, and then him cutting off Sauron's hand and getting the ring. That would probably be like the last episode.
What if he just gets very little screen time, and then at the end he pulls that out against Sauron?
They would be pulling a Game of Thrones, how that ended, with Bran being the new king of Westeros. And I'd be really fucking mad if they did a fucking Game of Thrones on me. But I have faith in these showrunners so far. They haven't done anything egregiously terrible.
So far, I think all three of us have been thumbs up on every episode, so...
I've been liking it a lot so far. I get why they're getting review bombed with 1 stars, because a lot of diehard fans are just hard to please. I mean, it's just the way of the fucking internet, unfortunately, fair or unfair. But I think this is a great show, and I'm very excited to see where they take it.
Mm-hmm. I am in a similar boat, and I mean, no matter what they do, if they just keep having Elrond and Durin talk to each other, I'm good. That's all I need.
This summer, Elrond and Durin take on the police. I don't know.
It's like a buddy cop comedy.
Exactly. That's what I was going for.
Except
rated
they take on the
PG-13. They join the police. They don't take on the police.
No, they get 1 fuck. It's got to be Durin, right?
Yep.
So, where are you putting the 1 fuck? Also, it's set modern day.
It is modern day.
Modern day on Earth.
Modern day on Earth. Elrond shows up in his robes, and they're like in Boston, and it's just like, the fuck you dressed up for? That was a bad Boston accent. Ben Affleck's so mad at me, and he doesn't know why.
He's actually in our studio just staring at you, just arms
Batman?
crossed, very upset. He's not happy with you, so...
Oh, I would pay money to be beat up by Ben Affleck. That's a story.
All right.
That's sexual experience for some people.
Okay. If you could get beat up by 1 Batman, who would it be?
Oh, probably Adam West because he's dead.
I'm glad that we both went for the dead guy.
We did.
It's fair, I guess.
I'd just be sitting there in front of his coffin, like, bring it on, old man. Come on, put him up.
No.
Meanwhile, his skeletal hand launches out of the coffin and strangles you.
Oh, I have to get beat up by a Batman.
Yeah, you're not fighting them. You're getting beat up by them.
All right, fine. Then fucking Keaton, because he's old now.
All right, you think that his punches won't hurt as bad?
I think they won't hurt as bad as Ben Affleck.
That's very fair.
I think Ben Affleck could take Keaton in a fight.
But Robert Pattinson's probably too chill to really hit you hard, I feel like.
Probably.
Why don't you get beat up by Robert Pattinson Batman so that way you can get his autograph?
Just his autograph across my face? Or
just punch in the shape of an R.
Guys, I got Batman's autograph. No, you didn't. You got Robin's autograph, you fucking idiot. Are you even a real fan? Oh. Guys, this podcast went off the rails. I think we're done here, right?
What? This podcast going off the rails? Couldn't be.
Oh, you should have fucking listened to She-Hulk this week, Chris. Jesus Christ.
She-Hulk episode had nothing to do with She-Hulk.
Jesus Christ.
Was D on that episode?
No.
That's
D
why.
doesn't do She-Hulk. D only does House of the Dragon with me, and then occasionally he sits in on She-Hulk, but not in recent history. D will be doing, I think D wanted to do the Smile horror movie coming out next week, so I think we're going to do that with D. You're welcome to join that too, Chris, if you can go see it. Beyond that, I think that's it for D.
All right, let's end this because I have a bunch of shit to do.
That's it for this week's episode of the TB&J podcast. Thanks to my friends Troy and Chris for joining us, and D for being a part of this, even though he's not here today.
For being a distant thought in our mind.
I've got links in the description. You should click on those and check them out because they help us out and support us and stuff. And join our cult because this is a cult now.
When we start that podcasting compound, it'll be great.
We're going to inject the TB&J podcast directly into the water supply.
I don't know how that would... You know what? I'm not going to think about it. You know, guys, they did a study on rats. They fed a bunch of them the TB&J podcast, and the other bunch they did not, and the ones that they did not died.
Oh.
So listen to the TB&J podcast. It could save your life.
We're good for rats.